Welcome back to A Minute with Alan. I'll explain this week's shirt here. It says, "Too smart for this room." A couple of years ago, we were down the Jersey Shore. We went into one of these escape houses. You know, you go through a series of rooms, you're timed. And my wife, our twin granddaughters, my daughter, and my son-in-law, we all went. And we started in the first room, and they're all figuring things out, running all over the place. We go into the next room. So we went through about 4 rooms. And I'm saying nothing, and they think, I'm not up to all this. And we get into the final room. There's only 2 minutes left at this point. Clock's going down. And they're all pressing and punching and coming up with theories, but I'm watching them all. And I realize there's a series of numbers that emerges, which you have to hit on a clock or something on the wall. So I let it get down to about 20 seconds. I hit the 6. Out we go. And I got this shirt. So it's hard to wear in public, but I'll wear it with you. Now, where was I? Okay. Today's subject is golf. Now, most of you know, a lot of you know, that I hate golf. I get blisters watching golf on TV, and I played 3 times in my life. It was a disaster. I hate it. It's like work. And when people ask me if I'll play, I say no, but I'll drive your cart if there's a bar in the cart, and you don't mind me being about 3 holes behind you, and so I don't get invited. Ironically, my wife right now is raising money for a golf auction, which she does every other year for the church. One year, she's, selling something on the 4th tee or the green, I don't know where she is, and a guy comes up and starts putting moves on her. And she says to him, "Listen, leave me alone." And he says, I can do great things for you. She says, "That's my Bentley over there." He says, "I have a boat." And she says, "It can't be big enough." Anyway, where was I? Golf. So, most sports are team sports. Very few exceptions. Golf is one, tennis is another, badminton's a third. I'm sure you can think of some. But golf is very unique, and it's unique for a couple of reasons. One is the fact that you are not actively engaged with another player. You're competing against other players, but in tennis, you're running around trying to beat another player right there. Badminton the same way. But in golf, you're really playing alone against the course. And so there's a tremendous psychological impact here. You've seen golfers, excellent golfers, world-class golfers, blow it by 5 holes, 5 strokes on the 4th day of the tournament on the back 9. So, see, I know the lingo. So I'm fascinated. I watch the majors, and I watch Scotty Scheffler, who I think is the greatest golfer in the world and maybe one of the great ones in history because he's imperturbable. But for most of them, the psychology can be paralyzing. Jack Nicklaus said once, "It's how you manage the course. It's not so much your physical skills." And you can see the mental pressure disturbs their physical ability. It's also a sport where everybody is radically polite. A player inadvertently touches a ball, reports himself. Made an error over here. I put something where I shouldn't. I will tell you now that the Professional Golfing Association rule book is 600 pages. 600 pages of rules. The Constitution of the United States is written on 4 pages. So it's a bit of a fanatic kind of, of course, at one time wealthy endeavor. And the final straw with this is the fact that people now watching it on mass media can pick up a phone and call in and say, on the sixth hole, when the ball was on the bank of the water and he put one foot in the water and he took his shoe off, he put the other foot in the towel, and on page 476, that's not allowed. And sure enough, they penalized the guy. So golf is a very different sport. What I like about golf, not ever wanting to play it, is that you report yourself. There's an honor in golf that strikes me as important. And the psychology of how you look at things, your competitors and the hole and the wind conditions and so forth, is as important as your physical ability. So it's a unique game that way. It also takes, if you're not a professional, about 9 hours to play, and it gets a lot of people out of the house.